something that I made a little bit ago. It's currently printing. It is an ice cream holder for the pint-sized ice creams like Ben and Jerry's. So like I said, I've already made this, but I'm going to show you what I did. So first thing I did, made myself a cylinder. And I just looked up how big a pint of ice cream is, and when I looked up how big a pint of ice cream is, it is about 3.75 inches in height, and it is about, I believe 3.5 was the diameter at the top, and then at the bottom the diameter was at 2.75. And so I took those measurements, and yep, 3.75 in height. So I took those measurements and I made my cylinder, got my height to where it was supposed to be. I went a little bit bigger on the diameter just so I had a little bit of extra clearance when I dropped the negative piece down the middle to make it hollow. So after I added my cylinder, the next thing I did, right click, and then you'd go to add negative part, you'd add another cylinder and shape that one up to be the same size as your current cylinder. I again went a little bit bigger so that I could kind of offset these, because it does have to sit up, otherwise you'll cut the whole bottom out. So I'm going to take my negative cylinder, and you can see on the negative one you can see through it, and so I just kind of went up a little bit, and I just looked at the bottom so that I could see where I wanted to go height-wise. And that looks pretty good right there. Not a ton of extra space, but enough to give it clearance. So then I just took this, moved it over to the center until it was lined up nicely. And I just kind of checked around to make sure that from the bottom it's not coming through, and that it looks pretty even everywhere else on the top. So once I did that, I wanted to have like a spoon holder on it, or a straw. I guess if you wanted to put a straw there, you could too. So then the next thing I did, again, right click on your item, add part. I want a regular part this time, not a negative part, and I added another cylinder to it. And I'm going to take this other cylinder, I'm just going to put it over here on the side. Really doesn't matter which side you put it on, but I'll put it right here. And what I want to do is I'm going to kind of just push it up into the first one, just so that I can make sure that they're seated together. And again, I mentioned this in some of my other videos. One of the things that I like to do whenever I'm merging parts together is I like to use different colors, even if I'm only going to print in one. And I do this because when I change the color, if you see, it makes it easier that you can kind of tell where each color is and how much overhang there is, and that way you can kind of make sure everything is put together nicely. So I'm going to push that just a little bit more. There we go, perfect. And then again, this black tube is going to need to be hollow because I'm going to be able to put spoons and things in it. So I'm going to click on the black piece, and I'm going to do another add negative part, and I'm going to add another cylinder. And I'm going to size that up to be, again, right about the size of what my first cylinder was. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of take it over here close. And if you see when I get close to the black, it's kind of hard to work with to see whether I've got it lined up or not. It's easier with the blue, so I'm going to change this piece back to blue now that I've got that one kind of where I want it to be. It can go back to its original color. So I'm going to take the cylinder, and again, it needs to be a little bit taller so that you're not cutting out the bottom, otherwise your stuff is going to fall right through. So I will click the world coordinates one so I can move it up, and I'll kind of just eyeball it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to slide it into the middle here, and then as much as I can, just kind of get it nice and centered in the middle of this piece. Oop, I moved that one somehow. There we go. And so those look pretty good. Everything looks pretty centered. I've got a fairly even lip all the way around on all the pieces. So that should be good. they're sticking up, so I know they're not going through the bottom. And the next thing I want to do is add a handle. So I'll right click here. I'm going to add a positive part. Again, the positive parts are pieces you actually want to print with filament. The negative parts are what will become hollow. So a negative part essentially can be like a cutout. So I'm going to add another cylinder to it. Oops, sorry, not cylinder. I want to do a torus. So we're going to add we're going to add a torus down here, one of the little hollowed out tubes. Okay, and I've got my torus over here on a separate plate. The reason I did that is because I have to actually cut it. So you'll hit the cut, and I've already cut it, so it'll just show you where I had cut it, but I just took the little cut wheel once I brought up the cut plane, and I just rotated around 90 degrees like so, and I just slid it right into the middle. And normally on the left side over here of your screen there'd be the other piece that would be pink, and I just hit perform cut, so that then it would split it into two pieces like this. And then what I'll do to get this added is I'll just take one of them, move it to my other plate, and once I get it moved over to the other plate, I kind of like to use a top-down view sometimes with attaching parts because it's easier to see what's where. And again, I'm going to change the color of this just temporarily because it makes it easier to see attachments and if you've got gapping or anything like that. So I'm going to line that up, and then just check to make sure. See, it's not even right there, so I'll line it up evenly. I'm going to slide it most of the way in there. That way it'll get a good attachment on the top and the bottom. I want to make sure everything is nicely attached in there. And that little bit that's overhanging up here at the top actually will get cut out by that negative part, so it won't overhang like that. So now I've got everything in there, and one of the other things I wanted to do with this is I wanted to add something kind of fun to it. So you can put little text fonts on things, and the way that I like to do that, again, there's a couple of different ways, but if I want it on this side that you're seeing facing the camera now, then that would be really more for somebody holding it in their right hand, so basically a left-handed person. I would click, and then if you go up here to the T and hit that, and then you can put your text up here. So I'll make it say get your own. And then you can pick whatever font you want to pick for it. And this kind of lets you just see how different ones look as a preview. But even so, sometimes it's still kind of hard to tell if you like one, and then once you see it on the item, you may not quite like it. So I kind of play around with it until I find the one that I want. Let's do this one. And now if you look, right now it's kind of floating in midair, which is not what I want. So I'm going to grab up here in this little square and slide down. Sometimes it's hard to get the right angle on these. But if you kind of grab it and just move it down about midway, roughly there. Sorry, the other blue piece, I'm going to delete that one now. It's part of the handle. So now I can just go back over here, and if I right click, I can edit my text. And again, like I said, it's kind of floating in midair right here, not attached to the cup really, except for right smack in the middle. And if you want it to kind of follow the curvature of the item, this little advanced tab here, you just open it up and you hit use surface, and then that'll take it and wrap it nicely around the surface. If you want your font raised like this, you can kind of leave it the way that it is, make it a little bit bigger. I just want to make sure that nothing is running into my handle, and it is. So I'm going to take it and slide it a little bit to the side. rotate it just a little bit. And then I'll go back to my text again. And if I uncheck and then recheck, it should put it where it needs to be. If it doesn't, then it may be too big, but that looks better. It's not running into the handle anymore, as you can see there. So the way I have it now is the font is slightly raised off of the item. If you see here, there's a little bit of an edge. You also can actually inset it into your item. If you go down here at the bottom, there's cut and modifier. So if you hit cut, and now it'll make it a negative part. But you can kind of see part of it over here isn't quite printing correctly. It looks like it's a little bit too big. So I'll shrink it down some, take it off and put it back onto the surface again. So if I kind of move it off of the surface of where it was, and then just kind of slide it over, and I can always adjust the rotation of it ever so slightly. And then go back into the text editing by right-clicking Edit Text, and then I can put it back to the surface again. Now I should be able to increase the size just a little bit. There we go. So now that looks good. It's cutting all the way through, it appears. And it's not a very deep cut into the item, but enough that it'll make a little bit of an indentation on the text, hopefully. And then the last thing I'll do to kind of join everything together, again, I'll give it one last check just to make sure everything looks like it's lined up okay. And nothing's offset or anything like that. Okay. So once I do that, what I'll do is I'll go over here to the left where it says Plate 2, right click, and you can select all, and then you can right click again and hit Assemble, and that puts everything together, and then it will turn everything back into the one primary color. And so when you've got it like that, whenever you hit Slice Plate, what it'll do is all of these gray parts here in the middle and over here in this tube that are the negative pieces will actually become holes. So if you look at your file once you've got it cut, you can see the hole there, this white right here is a seam. You can see if you kind of zoom to where the lettering is, that it actually does cut into the item, and you can see that it's just kind of almost like an engraved look to it. The blue base round at the bottom, and it tells you over here what everything is. So the blue base is just a bottom surface support that holds it. It kind of goes all around, and that's just to make sure everything sticks. And then you can see the other hole right there for, you know, spoon or straw, whatever you would like with your ice cream. And then the little piece of the handle that I was telling you guys about right up here that was kind of hanging over and into it, you can see it did get cut off, like I said that it would whenever we sliced it. So see, it's all nice and even, not sticking up over the top of the handle right here. So it did cut it nicely. And I kind of, before I print, will just kind of look and make sure that there's not any like weird holes or gaps anywhere, making sure that everything looks like it's attached well, kind of checking all of these seams here where I have pushed pieces together and told them to attach to each other, you know, up through here on the seam where the cup holder and the cup meet, and then just kind of checking on the bottom as well, just to make sure that it's not sitting off the bottom of the base plate for any reason. which it should give you a warning if it's offset or if there's something that needs a support and you don't have the supports enabled. Your slicer should tell you that. So this is the final item. Like I said, I do have one printing now. It is looking like for the print time on the item, it was showing me, I believe, about 5 hours all in total for the print. There it is, sorry, right here at the bottom, about 5.5 hours for the print in total. And like I said, I do have one currently printing. This is the screen that my software shows me whenever things are printing, and you can see it currently printing. I'll refresh it right here. Currently printing, it has 5 hours 25 minutes left. And then if I can get a preview, there we go. That's the item currently printing. So in a few hours that will be all done, and hopefully it comes out the way I want it to. Stay tuned for some more videos showing you tips, tricks, how-tos, and things that I've learned along the way with 3D printing. Thanks for watching.